Jurassic Thoughts podcast. As promised, Dan and I jumping back in on a Friday afternoon to preview the Toronto Raptors opening first round series against the Cleveland Cavaliers starting tomorrow in Cleveland. Before we get into everything, Dan, how's it going, buddy? How was your week?
Good. It was a great week of work. Man, the weather's finally coming out. Looks like the groundhog was accurate. And fuck, dude, I'm fired up. Summer's just around the corner. Jays are playing, and morale's high.
Yeah, no, like I flew in this morning, checking the weather. It looked like it might be sort of crappy and shitty for when the little short visit I'm home. But yeah, I walked to get my haircut, and it's gorgeous outside right now. It's sunny and 15 degrees. It's really nice. So yeah, hopefully, I mean in DC it's been 33 degrees this week and sunny, so sort of nice to go back to not being like absurdly hot. But I hope it sort of stays here and Toronto's done with sort of the shitty parts of the spring and can really transition into the summer vibes. But anyways, yeah, as promised last pod, we held off most of our Toronto Cleveland takes because we knew we wanted to hop on closer to the first game, which in 24 hours time will be over, so we'll actually have stuff to go off of. It's gonna be an interesting series, man. Dan, before we get into specific things, how you feeling with the Cleveland matchup round one?
I think it couldn't have worked out better for us. Just seeing how the last week of the season went. I mean, dude, I think 2 pods ago we were talking about fearful of the plan and maybe even an 8 seed. So for us to jump up to 5, Atlanta to somehow want the Knicks, not sure why. We're not complaining. We fared the best against Cleveland out of all the possible matchups that we've had all year. I think with the Knicks it would have been no doubt but a four game sweep. So this Cleveland team is a little ambiguous. I think they haven't really found their identity with Harden coming. They had some success early on when they made the trade, and now they started to kind of fizzle. Not sure how much chem's really going on there. They do have a pretty deep bench, but not sure how much of a factor that's going to be come the postseason. We'll see if Bickerstaff wants to open it up, but I think honestly, Sam, I am very, very pleased to be matched up with them in round one.
Well, yeah. So we've talked about this, but with the options being a Cleveland team that we're 3-0 against, or a Knicks team that we've lost 13 in a row, or whatever the number is, it's pretty clear. Obviously, we'll touch on the season series and sort of look at those games today. All those games were before December, so it doesn't really matter because Cleveland's such a different team with Harden, Schroeder, and Keon Ellis. They made 2 significant moves to sort of change the structure of the roster. But it's still having the knowledge you can defeat them. That's, a significant part. I think we would have been so dead on arrival in New York. I think that's a 5-game series. Yes, I think we have a puncher's chance. We're gonna get into some of the stats that look sort of favorable and some we're a little worried on. But yeah, it's 100% the matchup that makes you feel a lot better in terms of having a shot to move on past round one. So, like we said, Raps. I think it's easiest, Dan, just started the season series. Raps went 3-0 against Cleveland this year. The first game was on October 31st in Cleveland. If you remember, Dan, this was the JMO battle game when he hit. He was 6 for 6 from 3.
Mm-hmm.
This game we were 1-4 and sort of teetering on oh shit, are we gonna really let get hammered by a slow start here? But we didn't. Jakob did not play. CMB started this game, and the rest of the starters were also in. Cleveland started Lonzo, Jalen Tyson, DeAndre Hunter, Dean Wade, and Evan Mobley. So really not much at all to take away from this one. I mean, how many of those guys are still on Cleveland's team for the starters? Is it Jalen Tyson, Dean Wade, and Mobley? And I don't think Dean Wade plays, or no, he still starts.
He gets
sporadic minutes.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's much at all to take away from this game because just the roster is so different now.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know if I don't think Jalen's starting anymore. I think they rather go with Strus. for
So I
sure.
pulled up their most recent sort of competitive game was they beat the Hawks, and they started Mobe, Dean Wayne, Allen, Harden, and Donovan, with Merrill, Keon, Struess, and Schroeder playing anywhere from 14 to 27 minutes off the bench.
So Jalen started that one or no?
Jalen who? Tyson?
Yeah.
No, he was off the bench. No.
Okay. Yeah. They started Merrill or Dean Wade.
They started Dean Wade. Tyson
Okay.
didn't play. He had like a toe injury.
Okay.
Nance didn't play. So yeah, just the guys I like Keon, Struess, Schroeder, and Sam Merrill off the bench, along with the five starters, and it looks like Dean Wade is the fifth.
I guess for to stretch the floor, I know he can knock down the three.
Yeah,
That's gonna give us some problems probably. As we focus our attention more on like the primary guards like Donovan and Harden, but um, yeah, I mean, dude, I think they have a better bench than us. As good as our bench has been, to be honest, I think they have a little bit more depth and experience. Schroeder, man, like this guy, as much of a journeyman as he's been, like I think he's played on half the teams now in the league. He's just a guy who gets it done in the playoffs, dude. He's consistently a guy who doesn't shy away from the big moment. So that scares me a bit. They've kind of unlocked Keon, which Sacramento was unable to do. So, and he's always been a 3-and-D guy. He came in the league like that, and now he's starting to really polish his craft.
why do you think they've
Um,
unlocked him? Like what? Like last game he had 5 points in 22 minutes.
well, he's playing defense, and he's a
Yeah, and
respectable 3-point shooter.
I wanted Keon, and honestly, with the Harden Mitchell backcourt, he might have a significant role in the series if Quick is good to go. Because I'm
Yeah,
not really sure who else is on Quick to start and to actually do a decent job if he's fully healthy.
yeah, yeah. Maybe they haven't like fully unlocked him, but I just think being on a competitive team, having a
For sure.
meaningful role, and he just fits exactly what they need. Like all those guys off the bench are more or less 3-and-D or 3-point shooters. So that's going to give us real problems, especially with if like Yak. I mean, luckily Jared and Mobley don't really stretch that much, so most of his attention's not going to be on the perimeter. But just we don't have great perimeter defenders. It's been a thing the whole year. We definitely can't run a zone against this team. So I'm not sure with Harden playmaking, and then obviously Donovan's going to give us some buckets. Like it's just kind of kicking 4 out or 3 out. It's going to be tricky to navigate that.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah. And in this game, the first game, RJ had 20 on 8 of 15. BI had 20 on 7 of 15. Scotty had 14 and 10. As we mentioned, JMO Battle off the bench saved this one, having 20 on 7 of 7 from the field, 6 of 6 from 3. Um, one of the things I've been thinking about the most in terms of this matchup is how much I think it'll help BI have a good series. You know, going from OG, McCall, and Josh Hart defending you to, I don't even know, Dan. Like, maybe they put Mobley on him, which actually isn't great, but that's not a great, like, Mobley's more, you'd think, like, the center guard, you know? I'm interested to see if that's the starting matchup is Mobon and BI and see what he can do there, but I'd still take that over the trio of just absolute defensive terrors that he would have got with the Knicks, and I think he would agree that it is a better matchup for what he's looking to do, especially because if they're starting Harden, Mitchell, and Dean Wade, that's three guys you can go at on the offensive end, dude. Like it's
hmm
really whereas the Knicks, it's basically Brunson, but they have so many wings they can try and switch out.
hmm
I really think their defense is gettable. I know I sent you that stat, and it's been sort of percolating Raps Twitter this week. The Raptors' record against bad defenses compared to good. The Raps went 44 and 18 against non-top 8 defenses this year, 2 and 18 against top 8 defenses, and the Cavs with James Harden are the 18th defense since the All-Star break. So definitely a defense you can get at. Definitely, I mean that definitely holds up to the eye test because our offense can get slogged down, but against the shittier teams, then we really play up to them. So yeah, I definitely we do like yes, and the other thing I like is that no one's picking us, which is great. Everyone's like, oh no, I wish I could pick Toronto, but it's Cavs. Like I love that. There are signs to do. We're still the underdog for sure. I know Bi and Scotty said that doesn't really matter at all, but this is a Cleveland team that's pretty much gone all in, and we have not made an all in move at all. Like one first for Bi, drafted Scotty, IQ and RJ. We got assets for OG. Like this is such a worse Cavs loss than if we were to lose this series. If it was the other way around.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I in like you said, Cleveland has such little wiggle room if they don't if this isn't a convincing series win for them. They I don't know if it's too early to blow it up because you haven't even had a full year with Harden and those guys, but they're running out of stuff to do to kind of put around these guys. Like,
And they sped up their timeline doing the Harden for Darius trade, right? So it's not
yeah,
like, oh, well, we got to give more time for Harden and them to. It's like Harden's gonna be what, 37 next year? Like, I don't know, man. I like if they lose this series, I'm already thinking like Donovan, welcome to the six.
I would love that.
I would love it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Harden move I still like for them, to be honest, just with Darius's health, and they've had this same, like, Darius and Donovan have played 3 seasons now together, and it's kind of just been the same more or less of what what you're getting. Harden, a guy with like plenty of playoff experience, although known for never getting it done. He at the minimum
choker.
perennial choker, but again, like those Rockets teams, he was a stud in those playoff series, so like he knows what he's doing. He can surely get them past the first couple rounds, I would imagine. Depends how they match up. Just like Donovan and Harden, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say Donovan.
Combined.
Like Harden to me is like he'll get his 20 with like 9 assists. He'll be good, but this is like Donovan's team to get past rounds if they're gonna make an actual run.
Yeah, Donovan's the best player and the best scorer on the team, but Harden provides the playoff leadership that like.
Yeah, but
and he's more of a true one.
Man.
No, he does.
Now,
Harden's gone further. I don't think Donovan's ever been to a Western Conference final.
The 1 year the Jazz were the first seed, the Clips beat them in the second round.
Yeah,
they didn't move on to the conference finals. Yeah,
yeah. But no, just as far as the Harden thing, like, he's such a tricky guy to really assess because his best years in Houston, he had the ball for like 75% of the possession.
Yeah.
So like his numbers are outstanding, obviously, but he's never been able to get it done. Although, man, like I just think back to those series against Golden State and how much of a like talent discrepancy there was, and the fact that it even went to 7, and like he put his like outstanding performances. Like if you have that kind of Harden.
I'm on record saying that they would have won that series if Chris Paul didn't get hurt. Like,
yeah.
I thought it was going that way.
Oh, it was 3-1. They were up 3-1.
Yeah.
No,
they weren't.
Yeah,
Not
they
that
were.
Series, dude. No. They weren't up 3-1. The series I'm talking about. The one Chris Paul pulled his hamstring to go up 3-2. They went up 3-2 and then lost.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. Yeah. It was 3-2. Yeah. Anyway, so like I think he does bring a certain level of playoff like pedigree. Which the Cavs have needed in these past years, especially against other than Boston, a pretty inexperienced kind of latter half,
Raps?
Like Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
Raps. Yeah, like if they do match up against Detroit, that the Harden stuff will, I think, go a long way with just like the amount of playoff games and moments he's been in. They've done like honestly a fairly decent job of like manufacturing players. Like Jalen Tyson kind of came out of nowhere. The guy's a sniper. He was in the 3-point contest. He's been a guy for them. Strus, I know, was in Miami originally. They gave him a nice bag. He's been performing fairly well for them. Merrill also was a guy, I think, either second round. Yeah, he's been a guy for them. Dean Wade, same thing. Like they kind of find these guys and they develop them. I'm not saying Cleveland has like a very profound culture, but they definitely do have something brewing, which allows them to develop some of these like later round picks. Not sure how transferable it's going to be in the playoffs. Like I said, I'm curious to see how JB runs the bench. How much leeway?
Kenny Atkinson? JB's
Sorry. Yes. Excuse me. Kenny Atkinson. Like how much leeway he gives to the bench guys.
Honestly, I think it's going to be the 4 guys I mentioned, like off the top. I don't think you're going deeper than 9.
I don't be surprised if some of those guys, like Merrill, as good as he is as a 3-point shooter, not a great defender. And I don't know.
No, but a good bench ball handler. Like a good, if they want to keep
kind of
Donovan
run a little bit
and Harden on the court, one of them at all times, that's a nice like secondary ball handler.
I thought the Schroeder move was more to address that, but
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
but like looking at last game, Merrill played double the minutes Dennis did, so I wonder if that's a sign that Dennis is like a 10 to 15 minute guy, if at all, this series.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's getting up there.
But it's just sort of what okay. Well, let's wrap up game 1 of the season series. We also had minutes from Ochai Agbaji, who played 16. Jacoby only played 10. Grady played 5. So those 16 Ochai minutes. CMB only played 20. I'm fascinated to see. I assume we'll start Jakob and go. That's the starting 5. I think CMB will be huge in this series guarding Mobley. Obviously, we'll have. I don't know if we mentioned it already, but Quick's been deemed questionable. So if he's out, I know we've talked about this so far. Are you on record saying you want Shed to start if Quickly's out?
No,
Because I'm not.
I'm not actually. I think
want
Shed's
Jacoby.
he'll be a bulldog off the bench. I want Jacoby as well, especially in a game like the only way we win this. Exactly, the only way we win this series, I think, is with the 3-point shooting. I don't want to between Mobley and the Twin Towers there, Allen. I don't want to penetrate the paint too much. I don't think a lot of our points are going to come there.
Who do you think's a better defender of Shed than Jacoby?
On ball, I think Shed's probably better, to be honest with you. But if the guy's 6'5", oh, that's what I'm saying. If the guy's 6'5", you can't put him on him. It's just simple. Yeah. If it's the other team's the other team's ball handler, I'm totally fine with Shed being on him.
Yeah, but Harden and Donovan, dude, they're not some small guards.
Donovan's only 6'3" or 4". He's not that
still
big.
3 or 4 inches above Shed, though, dude.
I feel fine Shed guarding Donovan. Harden might be a bit of a different story. He's also gonna get. I know Harden's gonna get all these bitch calls like he did against that game at us in LA, where he's fucking.
I was gonna bring that game up when the Clips were in town and Harden just went to work in the mid range, down the stretch and
fucking went to work with the refs, fucking selling every fucking call, dude.
Oh, Jimmy. I saw Harden against my Wiz this year, so
that's right,
I'm well familiar with him. But yeah, so obviously those Ochai minutes, so 16 minutes are for grabs. Pirtle didn't play this game. Those minutes and Grady's minutes will probably trickle into him. I also doubt Battle's getting 15, but that game he obviously was on fire and stole the game from us. So yeah, that game, not much to take stuff away from. Game 2 was again in Cleveland a couple of weeks later. Raptors won 126-113. Raps had the full starting lineup. Yak was back, and one of Scotty's best games of the year. Scotty had 28, 10, and 8. Yak had 20 on 7 of 10. Quick had 25 on 10 on 13. This was the time of year where it was the Quick roller coaster. The first Cleveland game, he had 4 points. This one he bounced back with 25. RJ only 9 and BI only 11, but they did get, obviously, the other guys stepped up. For Cleveland, Donovan did play this one, as did Allen. They started Donovan, Merrill, DeAndre Hunter, Mobe, and Allen. So it's more like the Cleveland team we're going to play, but still missing some key players. You can't even say, oh, well, at least Darius played this one, because he didn't. I kind of remember this one. Noah Tomlin had 18 off the bench. I kind of remember that being really annoying. So yeah, still a little bit more to glean, as much as you can glean from season series of games that were in November, but they did have more of their studs. Donovan dropped 31, 6 and 6 in this one, but did not shoot well. I'll take 31 from him if he shoots 7 of 18, and he was 15 to 17 from the line, so that really sucked. But yeah, we have talked about this, Dan. I really believe Scotty gets the fuck up playing against Mobley. I think he loves it. I think he loves that matchup. And I'm so pumped to see Scotty back in the playoffs and not as a little wet-tailed rookie who's kind of just taking it all in, and he's got Van Fleet, OG, and Siakam to sort of do everything, and he just chips in when he can. No. It's BI's team on offense, but it's Scotty's team. It's gonna be. I'm really excited to see how he looks. I'm really hoping it's a good first salvo into his real playoff career.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I want it's good to be Scotty's team on offense as well. To be honest with you, I just think in order for us to win the series, Point Scotty needs to be the guy unlocked. I know I said earlier in the last pod we haven't really ran a lot of points, Scotty, with BI having most of the manning of the offense throughout the year. But we know what's going to happen if that is the case. Although we have, yes, been successful against Cleveland, and this probably was the closest thing to healthy they've been against us the whole year. I just don't think we're going to be able to squeak out the series with BI taking most of the shots. And 3-point shooting is gonna be what's gonna like help us win the series. And BI doesn't shoot a lot of threes. I think Mobley being on him, he needs to recognize that a lot of those shots are gonna have to come from beyond the arc. Now he's gonna have to take more, or expose him on the perimeter and just try to generate more offense that way. Kind of a shame that Quickly's questionable, being one of our better 3-point shooters.
100%. 100%.
That's why, dude. Like, if Jacoby isn't starting, it's gonna be really tough to watch game one, because Shed isn't, as we know, a very streaky 3-point shooter. I'll put it lightly.
He's below average.
He's well below average. He's unreliable.
Yes.
He's very unreliable. Yes. And Scotty's 3-ball hasn't really been
I think it has
falling.
to be Jacoby if Quick can't go.
No, yeah.
I think it has to be.
And I hope Darko recognizes that.
And I think he will, man. Like, Jacoby started a ton of games. I would venture to say he's definitely started more than Shed has this year. Even when Quickly's been out down the stretch, he's been starting with Scotty at the one with RJ. So I really think that will be the 5 if Quick can't go. It's just the shooting will be so with Quick. We talked about how Quick's best asset for our offensive scheme is his off the dribble shooting, his catch and shoot shooting. He seems to be the only one in our starting 5. BI can do it a bit, but BI has his whole 3-point motion takes a while. He has to really be set and be open for him to like enter into a shot like in the flow of the offense. Quick can sort of just turn and burn and shoot it. It's just a game like these seasons. We have one more to go over, but I feel like it's a team that we're comfortable with. Like, caveats being, we have not seen them with Harden. I've barely watched any of them with Harden. I don't even know if I've watched half a game, so I really don't have a strong opinion on. Oh my God, Dan, they look so much better now with Harden over Darius. Like, I've not watched Cleveland stuff enough. Also, just minute discrepancies in this game. Grady played 20, Jacoby only 12. So Grady's 20 will obviously be redistributed amongst the other 3, and CMB did not play this one either. So those 20 minutes probably going into CMB's pocket. Let's just finish up the season series. The last one, November 24th. So we have not played Cleveland since November 24th. So that's, 5 months ago we haven't played them, dude. So it's really like we're grasping at straws looking at these season series, but it isn't not relevant. Like, if we were playing the Knicks and we didn't mention getting swept by them and losing 13 in a row, I think it'd be a disservice to like just not even mention that. But we all also are saying, like, take this with a grain of salt. It's a very much different team, and we have not played these guys for 5 months. In the last game, it was in Toronto. Raps won 110-99. Cleveland started Lonzo again, Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Tyson, Larry Nance, and Evan Mobley really underwhelming this game, 14 points on 5 of 7 shooting. Even Donovan, dude, 17 points and 8 assists on 6 of 20. So that's awesome. And I will say it was probably easier to load up on him this game with like Lonzo in the backcourt and Jalen Tyson and Larry Nance. So I'm not expecting Donovan to shoot it that poorly in the playoffs, but we started Quick, Jacoby, Scotty, BI, and Yak. So if you swap Quick and RJ, I would guess if Quick can't go, that would be the starting lineup tomorrow. BI dropped 37 this game, Dan. So 37 on 15-30, 5-11 from 3. One of his highest. I know he dropped 38 against Miami last week, but I think this was the season high for him until that game. So that's sort of good to remember. And it's nice knowing that our best offensive player has had good success against the team we're going up this season. Scotty had 18, 11, and 6, so the classic floor, really nice Scotty game. Off the bench, we got 10 Ochai minutes, 11 Grady minutes, so those will be distributed as they usually are amongst the other bench guys, and then we'll also be integrating RJ's minutes in there as well. But yeah, that's really all I have to say on the season series. We played them very well. We went undefeated. They're a much different team, so it's not like obviously we're the underdogs, right? It's not like, oh, we went 3-0 against Cleveland, like we expect to win. They might expect to win, but just the general, fans of basketball, I'd say the majority are picking Cleveland, which personally I love. I don't think I've heard anyone say Toronto's taking the series, which I like. But yeah, it's a team we've had success against. We seem to be, I mean, it's not even a question, seem to be. We are more comfortable playing them than the Knicks, and I think the seeding worked out as best as it could for Toronto in these playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. And to be quite honest with you, Sam, like, yes, we are, I think, the underdog, even just objectively through the seeding. I feel okay about the series, man. Like, I feel like it is very much a possibility that we can pull out, like, the series. Like, I would be surprised. It'd be a great surprise. I think right now it's like 35%, 30 to 35% that
Puncher's
we win.
chance.
Yeah,
Puncher's chance.
which is fair, dude. Like, if Bi steps up and Scotty steps up, if our two best guys have good offensive games consistently in the series, I think it's anyone's game. Yeah,
that Cleveland defense is not scary, dude. It is
no, it isn't. It is really not. And another thing too, and I don't know if I brought this up already. So Yak will probably start. I think Jarrett is a center we can get away with having CMB guard just because he only has a little hook shot. Although yes, he is like I think 5 or 4 or 5. Yeah, that's true. He's a rim runner. He's about 4 or 5 inches taller than CMB, but CMB is a fucking monster rebounder and he's girthier.
I'm not worried about CMB at all.
No, but I'm just saying, like, if we want like an athletic big guy who can also kind of stretch the floor in moments and not have to worry about Jakob's like slowness, just kind of drowsing the offense, I think I wouldn't mind seeing CMP get a little bit more minutes than Jakob in those types of situations. Well, obviously, like, hopefully Darko makes changes and he recognizes, times when he needs to change shit up. But I think CMB is a very key player in this series, and Jacoby is a very key player, as well as obviously Scotty and Bi. But those are the 4 guys that we really need to lean on.
I was gonna like this is to your CMB point and sort of what you mentioned earlier about getting Jarrett or Evan Mobley like on the perimeter. I think Mamu's gonna be heard from this series. Like,
oh yeah,
all like CMB and Yak, those are guys you can camp the paint, right? Like you can clog shit up. If Mamu's running around outside the arc, dude, you got to put a body on him.
Yeah,
and that'll be really interesting how much he plays if we're struggling to get to the rim because either Allen or Mobley are just sitting there. If Mamu can come in and I don't know, dude. Like, I think he might. Would I be shocked if he had the most minutes out of like the 3 center rotation? No, I wouldn't be this series. Yes, on the other end of the floor, it's the give and take, right? Like that's our worst option for defending a Mobley or Allen. But if you can do Mamu with CMB or Mamu with Yak and sort of play with 2 bigs as with a Scotty, and then all of a sudden you're actually are huge and physical with those 3 guys. That's going to be interesting, man. And I think Mamu offensively will be really interesting to see how Cleveland tries to counteract that this series.
I'm also not like if you lose from an Allen or Mobley stellar offensive game, I'm kind of okay with that. Like if they drop 25 or 30, yeah, I just can't like fair enough. Like fuck, more power to Allen and Mobley. They're just not offensive guys. Mobley can maybe do a little bit more in terms of playmaking and has a little bit more in his bag, his repertoire. But honestly, like the main guy I'm worried about is Donovan, and his poor performances against us in the regular season gives me a little bit more reassurance that we can do.
I think Donovan's going to have a great series. Like I think he'll be awesome.
Well, if he let's say he dropped 50 against us, we'd be feeling a lot worse than what we're feeling right now. So like I think it does say, like you said, like although these are 5 months removed, I think these games do say something. Like we've had success against defending him.
But sort of what I mentioned,
three isn't a small sample size. Like that's enough games for him to pop. Okay,
he only played 2,
but both games very inefficient.
True,
well under 45.
Also, who was his running mate those games? Like those games we could stack up defending him.
Yeah.
So I will say now he as opposed to Lonzo Ball, he's got James Harden with him in the backcourt, right?
Yeah.
Like that's significant, obviously.
Yeah.
I love sort of the mentality, what I've heard from the Raps so far, just saying like we don't really give a shit. Like people don't want like okay. Darko had an awesome quote saying like this isn't Europe where they're gonna be doing lasers in your eyes when you're doing free throws and throwing bottles. I sent this text to you, and then some guy on Twitter said, "Talk that shit, Darko. This isn't Galatasaray. It's pussy ass Cleveland."
Yeah, I saw that.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, man. Obviously, we hope Quick plays. I think if he is a non-factor. So, okay, let's do this. Let's talk about some X factors of the series. We just mentioned Mamu, the quick point. He'll be so sorely missed if he's a zero. This series, obviously, we've touched on the gravity he brings on the offensive end. Yes, Jacoby defensively might be a bit of an upgrade, and even though Jacoby, I couldn't have loved him more down the stretch with how hot he got from beyond the arc. The shot creation is non-existent. He's going to go stand in the corner and wait for kickouts. Just more of a burden on Scotty. And that's when RJ has the ball too much, Dan, we sort of get nervous. So yeah, Quick is definitely an X factor. Do you have, so you've mentioned you had like your four guys. Do you have anyone else, Cleveland or Toronto, that you think is going to have a huge outcome on the winner of this series?
Well, just on the note of RJ, I think recognizing that this isn't a team you necessarily want to slash or drive on as much as other teams, I really hope he's a lot smarter with the ball and realizes that maybe his usage, if we want to win, his usage can't be as high as it was in the regular season. Not to say that he's going to be a complete non-factor, but I just think pick your spots and be selective with when you choose to drive and when you choose to play make and all these other sorts of things. I really hope most of his attention is on the defensive end, and he's just makes good decisions with the ball. Turnovers are going to be very costly, especially against a guy like Harden who will punish you and make you pay if you're turning the ball over quite a bit. Yeah, dude, and I just really hope BI is like ready for this. Like he's kind of ready to like embrace like I am the number one option on a playoff team. We've had success against this team. Let's fucking roll. I don't want him checking out in the fourth quarter if we're down by 10. I want him to give a shit till the very end.
Yeah.
It just happened before, Sam. Like I feel like it's reasonable for me to have these reservations about him because he just seems like he fucks off when we're down by 10 or whenever and we lose a little bit of the game, and he just doesn't have the same type of mentality that he did. But again,
honestly,
playoff
like,
time.
I'm not really worried about that because if he appears not ready for that, then I'm just gonna be like losing my mind. Like, you have been our go-to guy all season. You have a couple playoff series under your belt. One went well, one really didn't go well. Both were a first-round loss. You've done a very nice job rehabilitating your image, but if you have a bad 2 weeks here, it's sadly going to go back to like what it was before the year of like, oh, the Brandon Ingram teams, this is what they are. I'm not saying we have to win the series. We are the underseed. Like we aren't favored to win, but BI cannot. If there are BI questions, Dan, after, it's not going to be great. We have touched on we'd want his scoring average to go up at least 3 points, so he's at like 21.9 or whatever. If get to 25,
it's got to be 25. Got to be 25.
Like that'd be, and Scotty above 20, please.
Yeah.
Hit the RJ shots, Scotty. Like less RJ shots, more Scotty Barnes shots, please. One thing we haven't done, and we definitely need to go into matchups. Let's do what we think. I don't know if you saw the other day, but CMB, he was at the podium or whatever, and he sort of dropped that Scotty starting on Donovan as like taking him defensively, which I thought was very interesting.
Yeah.
So what do you envision? Let's do guarding, because obviously Cleveland, we can sort of guess what they'll do, but we know more about how Darko plays and how we like to do it, with the caveat being we think now Scotty's starting on Donovan tomorrow.
I think that leaves Jacoby on Harden by default, which I'm also okay with. Although I will say, dude, against that Clippers game, every fucking chance Harden got, he exploited a foul with Jacoby. I know he's young. I know he's a little bit jumpy and impatient, but fuck, dude, it was... And, like, some of them weren't fouls. Again, like, Harden just knows how to be a motherfucker with that stuff. But a little bit worrisome with Jacoby getting into foul trouble, especially because he means so much to us on the offensive end. But I just think that's the only other matchup if Shed's not going to start. And when Shed does come in, I'd rather him be the guy who's going to foul Harden and make those mistakes, or if whatever the case is, like if we need to foul, like Shed to take those kinds of fouls, because I think Jacoby means more in this series than Shed will. But yeah, Jacoby will start on.
Agree.
Jacoby will start in Harden, and then honestly, dude, like Yak on Allen, I think is just neutral. I think that's just going to be a given.
So what's the BI though, or what's the Evan?
Yeah,
If
I
you
mean
do
that's a
if you
tricky
do
one.
Scotty on Donovan, bro, BI's taking that. I don't love that. I
You
don't love
gotta,
that at
I
all.
mean, Bi and RJ help defender. Not sure how that's gonna look. It's also like, it's again, is Dean Wade gonna be knocking it down? How much respect do we have to give him on the
Oh, you
three
give
point
Dean
line?
Wade, yeah.
I think so too, right? So like, how are we gonna navigate? It seems like we're just a defender shy of actually having a pretty good grasp on the defensive end, and a little
Like you
bit
said though,
worrisome.
if Evan Mobley beats you, you kind of tip your cap. So like,
Yeah,
I get that way of thinking. Watching Scotty all year, am I a bit surprised that we're putting him starting on the super athletic, quick little guard? Yeah, I'm kind of be honest. Like I'm a little surprised you don't start with a Jacoby on Donovan and an RJ on Harden. Like to me, that seems a bit more sensical. I get Donovan and Harden are above Mobley in like the offensive volume stuff for Cleveland, so you want Scotty to sort of handle their high like best offensive player. But I don't know, dude. Like if it's Bi on Mob, I think we're gonna get an aggressive ass Evan Mobley in the first half tomorrow if that's the matchup.
definitely a little bit worrisome. To be honest with you, like that's where CMB, like when he checks in, that'll help a ton defensively. Um, fuck man, it's really tough because offensively you need Bi out there, but without just knowing what his limitations are on defense, it's really going to be tricky to kind of
Question:
maneuver. Yeah.
If if it is Scotty on Donovan, do you give any thought to instead of starting Jacoby, you start Mamu or CMB? So like two bigs, Scotty, RJ, and Bi.
No.
I agree. I just think
Yeah.
the offense is too choppy there, dude. Like
Yeah.
maybe Mamu, maybe you could swing that with the spacing there.
For who though?
Um,
For Jacoby?
yeah, for Jacoby, and
Yeah, but then I
you
just
go
feel even
huge.
worse on defense then.
Okay, but at least Mamu has the size. He's not a good defender, but he's a lot bulkier and sturdier than Bi is. The reason I'd be worried about Mobley on Bi, not because Mobley, I really like Mobley, but his offensive bag like isn't crazy. I just think he's a lot bigger and stronger that
Yeah.
it'll be easier for him. Like if
Yeah.
you do a little like Mamu a little sturdier, again, I'm not really saying I want this, but just with the news that if CMB was telling the truth and not trying to trick Cleveland, if Scotty is starting on Donovan, like I'm just want like I thought for a second like okay, are we are they not going to do Shed or Jacoby and it's going to be one of the bigs playing with Yak?
Yeah. Um, interesting notion. Yeah, again, I just think we're losing too much by doing that, like you
I
said.
think the
So
off like it's weird, right? Because Cleveland's defense is crappy, like it's not good. But like if we brought that five, then it's like our offense is even worse than it already is, and we already
yeah.
struggle offensively.
Yeah.
So I think maybe you could get away with Mamu, like maybe. But I'm very dude. I can't wait till we see the starting lineups and the like who starts on who tomorrow, man. I'm very excited to see how it's all gonna shake out.
I think CMB's got to be like we got to have a short leash on Yak because again, like you said, Allen's a runner,
100% agree.
and if Harden's gonna run the
100%
pick and
agree.
roll and just fucking like abuse his
Damn,
slowness,
damn.
it's gonna be a disaster, dude. So CMB's got to get up there.
I've been waiting to drop this for like 10 minutes. I don't know what I was waiting for. The first time Harden comes off the pick and Yak's defending in space, I'm gonna kill
Yeah,
myself.
and he's
I'm
gonna
actually
go
gonna.
like this.
Harden's gonna do a shitty little step back two.
Yeah,
Yak is not even gonna contest and just turn to like get the board switch. It is gonna be and oh my god, it's gonna happen like 3 plays in a row, Dan, and I'm gonna text you. Oh my god, I just yeah. Oh,
yeah,
that is gonna be. Mm-mm-mm.
yeah,
Yeah, I will say though, from what I've saw, Cleveland fans also feel kind of to Allen like we do of Jakob. They kind of think Jakob's gonna bitch Allen. We think Allen's gonna bitch Jakob. So it's two fan bases who really don't like their centers. Um, I'd say the difference is like we actually have backup centers we like, whereas Cleveland, all their bench guys they've played are like smaller guys.
I was gonna say they actually don't. I mean, I think Thomas Bryant is the
Bryant,
next.
dude,
Yeah.
like what the fuck? Like Larry Nance, decent, but like whatever, bro, whatever.
No, I still feel fine. He's athletic, but I still feel fine with Yak going against Larry. I think, and honestly, dude, Jarrett's not an aggressive guy. He's not like a Duran where he's like actually like hungry for the fucking rebounds. He's gonna box it. Like Jarrett's like just a big body. He's
14,
athletic. And
14 and 8.
Yeah,
you know, but he'll miss like one shot because it'll all be lobs from Harden.
Yeah, or like 2-foot hooks. He does have a hook. I know for sure he can consistently hit a hook shot from 3 foot away.
Cleveland feels the same. Like watching an Allen hook, it's like watching a Jakob hook. It's just like you just hate it.
It's better than a Jakob push shot.
Oh, you're
one-handed
preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a chart this series of like what the previous play was to a Jakob push brick. And see how many are like threes, and then our big counter is no. Let's get Jakob a push from the free throw line.
They're not going to see it coming.
It's the most disheartening 2 plays in a row is the made basket for the other team, and then Jakob push brick on the other end. It's the worst thing ever, man.
Oh my god.
Okay. Anything else you really want to touch on before game 1, or?
No.
We've touched on matchups. We've touched on season series. We've sort of touched on X factors.
This is just a comment. I just really hope that the refs are a little bit more hesitant to blow the whistle on Harden's antics.
They always are in playoffs.
I really hope they are, dude. Because if we lose with Harden having like 30 free throws a game, that'll be so agitating.
You don't need to be worried about that, dude. It always gets swallowed in the playoffs. They don't call nearly as much. Okay. Which I think favors us because we're a physical ass team.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you always get less free throws. Yeah.
And also, dude, excited to see Darko. We've already touched on will he have the balls to play Jakob like 12 minutes? I'm excited to see his adjustments game to game.
Yeah.
It's sort of house money, like we've said. Like if Cleveland loses to us, dude, shit is going down this summer for them. That, no one is safe on that roster.
Yeah.
If we lose. Okay, nice season, guys. Like big progress, 16 win advantage. We've circled this summer all year of like a big one, but like now we have some playoff experience with these guys. We know what didn't work in the playoffs, and we know what to fix. It's whatever, dude. So we're playing with house money. Cleveland is gettable with that defense. I really think they are. With all that being said, what is your official prediction for this series?
I think we squeak 2. We lose in 6, but we squeak 2, and like it's.
I don't think it's a squeak. I think we'll dominate at least one game, maybe 2.
If Darko makes the right adjustments, we will. I think we'll lose the first one. It won't really be super. Like it might be within like 8, but I don't think. I think they'll have control of most of the game.
I also can see Scotty coming out with his hair on fire tomorrow afternoon.
And, for sure,
going crazy game.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If we can steal, Sam, if we can steal 1 of 2 in Cleveland, like one of the first 2, that would be enormous. I really feel good about our chances if we can take one of these 2.
100%. Yeah. Okay, so you're saying Cavs in 6.
Cavs in 6, yeah.
I'll go if we get 80% of Quick, I'll be a bit more optimistic. I want to take the Raps, but I just
you're not crazy to do that. You're not crazy to do that. Dude, Cleveland, they haven't done it.
It's just their defense, dude. I think I mean, I don't know if we've touched on enough how much of an offensive juggernaut this team is. Like, I think it's a little more like with our staple being our defense, it's a little more like, okay, like your best thing's shooting the ball. Our best thing of our team is like stopping that shit. So no, I'll go Cleveland 7. I'm thinking a real Scotty welcome to the playoff series. I think he'll play great. I've talked about him getting up for Mobley. I think Scotty makes the big rise. Like I think his scoring will go up like 5 points. I think it'll go up a touch. I don't know if it'll be as much as we had hoped for. I'm not going to make any predictions on Quick because that's just pointless with not knowing the medical stuff. I think RJ, it might be a killer. And I think if we look back after the series, on why we lost. Sadly, I'm not going to put that on him right now, but I wouldn't be shocked. And I'm going to go Jakob plays under 20 minutes average.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, is that, oh, yeah? That's
Yeah.
it, like, of course.
I think come the fourth quarter, I can't see him getting any serious minutes unless we need like a body to get a rebound. I just
It's
don't.
a matchup that is favorable to him because it's an Allen center who can't shoot as opposed to Towns who can live out on,
Of course,
on the perimeter.
but I just don't. I just think we still fare better with C&B down the stretch if we're really trying to, make a run.
We got three more years of Yaki P, baby.
Well, we'll see. And one last thing. I know we don't have like the on-ball guys to do this, but if any chance we get, we got to run whoever offense and hard end. Tiring him out in the defensive end would be a very big benefit to us. So
I thought for a second, like, would it make sense at all to do Scotty on Harden?
No.
I arrived there.
Foul
too.
trouble.
Like it's either going to be Evan or Donnie, and it looks like they're going Donnie.
Yeah.
Anyways, man, like, do you have anything else like you really want to touch on or no?
No, I think got the bread and butter out of the way.
It's exciting, dude. I am so pumped for this series. I'm so much more pumped than if it would have been the Knicks. I think there are avenues for us to play really well and lose, like to be proud of the series you have, to really give Cleveland like, holy shit, Cleveland's gone all in and they had to beat this plucky Raptors team in 7 games. Like, that's not good at all. Maybe play them so hard and make them look so bad that Donnie's on in the 6 and in like 6 months 6 months away. Anyways, though, I think our goal, we'll see if we can pull this off, is to sort of jump back on quick after each game and sort of go over what we saw and sort of preview the next one. Dan, this is sort of why we like did this. Is like we thought the Raps were going to be good this year, and we have playoffs to go over. And it is a matchup that, yeah, things have to go right, but you can talk yourself into we could steal this series potentially.
I think game 1 will be a good tell.
Yeah, me too. If there's nothing else though, buddy, take us out, and we'll see you guys after game 1.
Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you after game 1. Over and out.